To Twisted, Not Your Mama's Book Club
podcast.
That's right. What's our first book about?
Well, first off, my name is Sarah.
Oh, I'm Brandy.
And your name is Brandy.
Hey, and what are we?
A podcast?
Before we were a podcast, what were we?
Friends?
Best friends.
Besties friends. I can't have her in here.
BFF.
She's smiling. You don't have to stop. Don't stop.
Okay, so this is our third attempt at this.
This is our second,
third attempt?
I don't know. What
anyway,
day is this?
And you're drunker than you were the first time.
Okay, so full disclosure, we made aqua velvets, which they drink in the movie, which is based on the book by Robert Graysmith, which is called Zodiac. Which is actually based on the true crime serial killer,
The Zodiac.
So Sarah made them super strong, and
no, I did not. Your husband made them really strong.
So our first editor, or
who got fired,
tech guy, was Keith, my husband. Then apparently we recorded the entire episode, and we didn't record. So this is our number 2. Okay. Anyway, we're here now. We've got the 18-year-old beautiful daughter helping us do tech.
Hi.
Say hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Sedona.
Bam. Let's do it.
Bam.
So
in the first go-around, we talked about why we picked Zodiac.
Oh.
So I thought we picked Zodiac because I sent you a picture of all the true crime books that I already had. And you were like, Zodiac! But that's not true, right?
Well, I have a connection to Zodiac. I've sort of had it since I was a little girl. I was born in California. I was born in a little shithole town nobody will recognize. So basically, my family was from Anaheim. The Zodiac kind of always hung over me as a little girl. I wasn't born during these years. In fact, by the time I was born, Zodiac was, dormant. He hadn't killed anybody in a long time. He hadn't written any letters. But I always felt, I guess because I came out of California in the late 70s.
Would you call it the golden age of serial killers?
Yeah, in California, it was like the golden age. Bitches were hacking and chapping and chopping and slicing everyone.
Hitchhiking everywhere, getting murdered.
Peace, love, and blood.
Murder.
Peace, love, and blood. So, I felt a close connection to the Zodiac. It's been a case that has always fascinated me growing up as an adult. So here we go. Full disclosure, Sarah hates this book.
It's true. I do. Look, y'all, I'm a reader. I literally have a library in my house. I can burn through books like crazy. This book was boring. So this whole thing, this one time is going to work where Brandy's feeding me how she read the book and she's going to ask me my opinion on it. I got through half of it and then I gave up.
And she went to the movie.
And I switched to the movie and watched half of it.
And who does the movie have in it?
All the Avengers.
All the Avengers. Minus a really cute one. Thor.
Well, yeah. Well, he was what, like...
Beautiful?
No, when this movie came out. When did this movie come out?
07.
07?
Yeah.
So Thor was a little baby.
Thor and I are close in age.
Yeah, a little baby.
I was not a baby in 07.
So the Zodiac movie, which came out in 2007, has Robert Downey Jr. and Mark Ruffalo and
cocktails.
Equipment. And oh my God, Jake Gyllenhaal and that one.
The Hulk.
Yeah, I said Mark Ruffalo already.
She said Mark.
The Hulk.
Mark Ruffalo.
He gets angry.
It's got that one actor who was
super big.
Who was in Ninja Turtles. He was the hockey dude.
Bitches love hockey.
Oh, you love hockey. I love hockey too. Rampage. We completely missed hockey season this year. I know.
I don't want to talk about it.
So the Zodiac?
This working two
Zodiac.
job shit is sucks.
So Brandy has like 18 pages of notes. There are
Rifling through notes.
You don't have to make the sound.
Yeah. Oh, she picked up the drink earlier and was like, cocktails, ice.
We're gonna drink. We're gonna talk. It's based on...
We're gonna go off on tangents.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna, like, fucking run wild with this shit.
I'm gonna try to skip ahead, like, every single time that Brandy starts to talk about something.
Yeah. My notes from the movies. I'm going to eventually post on wherever we put this.
What?
Sarah would like to remove that. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. Who is murdered in Chapter 1? Do you remember?
A couple.
What were
near
you doing?
Near a body of water.
Good job.
They were making out in the car like the first 3 murders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Oh,
Wah,
God.
wah. So, it's actually Betty Lou and David.
That's right.
They're 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
They had drove off to little lakey area.
Neck, as the kids say.
Neck, as the kids say. So, they're getting it on. I mean, steaming up the windows. Nothing below the belt.
They're doing it wrong.
Yeah. The 60s. Boy, could we teach them a thing.
Please do not spit your drink all over our podcast equipment. God damn it.
Stop saying dumb shit.
This is all
That's
that's
not
going to be
what's
for
going
the
to
next
happen.
hour
Yeah.
and
Do
7
you
minutes.
know who you're with?
Alright, well, I'm out of a drink, so.
The dumb shit is not going to stop.
Alright, we're 6 minutes in. Let's open
Okay.
this up.
We still have 61 to go.
Open this up. Zodiac.
Open this up, Zodiac. Who is
Can we
taking
get
over here?
Keith
Can
back?
we get the fucking quiet guy back?
Hey, I have experienced what podcasts are like. I'm helping y'all. Go.
No, Keith let us just do what we were doing.
Do
Dictator.
what you want to do, but come on.
Just like an Anderson woman. Bossy as shit.
So
Okay.
chapter 1, Betty Lou and...
Chapter 1, Betty Lou and David.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is noticeable in this is the Zodiac comes up, pulls up next to them in the car. They're like, hi, guy. He fucking goes crazy. He shoots them. This is used with a gun. Couple of the Zodiac's murders are guns.
Couple are knives.
Couple are knives. Couple are drownings. We see
Couple
just
are hog ties.
hog ties.
Texas girls.
Um,
Is it supposed to be a pig?
I don't know.
I don't know what the...
She ruined it.
I'm sorry, everyone in Texas. I love you. So he overkills Betty Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clearly got a woman issue. Like most sexual sadists.
Most serial killers have woman issues.
What about Eileen Wuornos?
Well, she had an issue that she was a woman.
Fuck those guys, right? They probably had it coming. Okay, so long story short, he overkills Betty Lou. We're thinking he has a personal vendetta against couples making out, right?
Right, because the first 3 murders were all couples that
making
were
out, right.
making out in cars.
Let's get into Darlene Ferrin. Wait. Before I forget to fat shame.
Oh yeah, we spent a lot
of time on Stocky.
Stocky.
He was stocky. He
Robert
had a
Gray
fat
Smith uses the
word stocky.
a lot.
Don't mind Sarah. She's 6 drinks into
Look, there's
tonight.
Sprite in here, and it's kind of bubbly.
False. There's more liquor than God knows what to do with. Stocky. The lady who finds him. Oh, this goes back to Rolling Hills. My grandparents owned a house. My grandfather owned a body shop and graveyard. It wasn't called a graveyard.
My God, I thought you literally meant he owned a graveyard. I was like, is that a thing? Is that a business you can go into?
Yeah. What do you think the Doppenschmidts do?
Well, that's a funeral home.
And they own parts of graveyards.
God,
You didn't know that?
no.
All right.
This is supposed to be all about dark and twisted things. I want to own a graveyard.
Dude, you could be like, hey,
Life
you see that
goals!
graveyard? I'm gonna bury your friends in it. I own it.
That literally was my next question. It's if you own a graveyard, do you
choose?
own everything in the graveyard?
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen, I've never signed any papers because everyone that I know has gotten that, my dad
we have no idea what you're talking about.
my dad was cremated.
No, what?
But, when you bury someone, do you have to, sign papers saying that, this person's now your property?
No.
I want to own a graveyard.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, we went
you wanna
completely.
own a graveyard
My
'cause I
grandfather owned a junkyard and an auto body shop, and my grandmother did catering in Rolling
your
Hills.
fuck up is the problem for this tangent.
Okay, I'm
now
sorry.
we want to own graveyards.
Now we have to own graveyards. So they live in Rolling Hills. This murder takes place not too far outside of Rolling Hills. Probably at the time my grandparents owned house. Yeah. late 60s, early 70s, and retired to Vegas in 80. And Sarah's going to be like, Brandy's from Vegas. Nah, Brandy's not from Vegas, but...
I didn't even have to do it that time.
Yeah, I'm going to do it to myself. I've lived in Texas for
'Cause
1,000 years now.
In Vegas.
So, I'm from Texas.
Mhm.
Y'all. We're going to say y'all a lot because we are Southern women. Okay, we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Talk.
What about Darlene Ferrin? Tell me about
Darlene?
Darlene Ferrin.
Darlene
And Mike Mageau.
Darlene was married once before, divorced, married again,
And how old was she?
had a baby. She was 22 years old.
Sweet Jesus.
And what? You thought I was drunk. I was listening the first time we did
No,
this podcast.
I mean, sweet Jesus. She's been busy.
And she was obviously in an unhappy marriage. I don't think her husband knew that she was in an unhappy marriage.
I think he was the last to know.
She was in an unhappy marriage, but just by herself.
As most of us are.
She used to be a stocky girl.
Stocky!
And then
Fat
we're thinking started doing a lot of drugs.
We're thinking the drugs, yeah.
She got real skinny
But
real
it was
quick.
like the 60s, so everyone was on like fucking diet pills, right?
Oh, God. You know, there are times that... I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I don't know what Tanner and I were watching the other day. We were watching something.
Tanner's her husband.
Tanner's my husband. And it was set in the 60s, and I was like, God damn, we were born in the wrong time. Like, we missed the golden age of serial killers.
Golden Edge.
We missed the really awesome diet pills that you could like go down to like a fat store, like in a strip center, and be like, I want to lose weight, and they're like, here's some methamphetamines. We missed it all. Well, I mean, I did. It was probably still around your age.
Fuck off. I'm turning a little year older this month.
Next
so
week.
Shut up. I'm a little bit older than Sarah, and we're not going to talk about how old my husband is because he's beautiful. Okay,
Big
Darlene.
old Swede.
Big old Swede.
So Darlene.
What about Mike Mageau?
Darlene was on a date with Mike, who's not her husband.
Who's not her husband. They actually went on a firecracker run because it was the 4th of July.
That's right. They went. We didn't even talk about it the first time. It was 4th of July when they were murdered.
I'm full of information.
Didn't he work at the restaurant?
Yeah, they both worked in the service industry. Hashtag real life.
Ugh. Yeah, who hasn't worked at our tech back
and
there?
if you haven't worked in the
like pizza.
If you haven't worked in the service industry or the serial killing industry, that's a good industry to get into. Sarah decided she's had enough of hearing herself.
My ears are hot.
If you haven't worked in the service industry, you know what?
Ain't lived.
Yeah, you haven't experienced life.
You're spoiled if you haven't worked in the
You are not broken enough.
You need to be rebroke. Tip your servers, tip your bartenders, be nice to people. Surprised are probably smarter than you, so fuck off! Back to where we were at in the book.
So we were talking about a cheater.
No.
Who was on a date.
She was a
not
goer.
Her husband. Goer. She was a
goer.
Which
Grace Smith, one of the detectives at Grace Smith interviews, calls Darlene a goer.
Which means...
She hoeing around. But, I mean, whatever.
A woman of questionable morals.
Thoughts don't get cold.
What don't get cold?
Thoughts.
I thought you said thighs don't get cold. And I was like, hers didn't get cold.
Yeah.
But, shh.
Brown chicken, brown cow. We're gonna do that a lot. Sorry. We're not victim shaming. So her and Mike Mageau, who was part of a twin, and they both fought over Darlene's attention. Open door.
Who was played by the wonderful Lee Norris in the Zodiac movie.
You can tell my girl watched the movie. Okay. Darlene, there's a definite connection between the 3 or 4 different Sedona brought snacks in the room. I've lost Sarah forever.
Crunchy snacks in the room. No, I can't. I'm recording a podcast. You can't.
So
I'm gonna suck on it.
that's what she said. Darlene's seeing different people. There's this one guy. Each of the different suspects can be connected to Darlene. Like the 3 serious, actual, let's take a look at suspects.
That we'll talk about at the end.
We'll talk about at the end. Can be connected to Darlene Ferrin. Do you think Darlene was involved in, like, maybe an informant situation.
I don't know. I think that she was selling drugs, right? I mean,
Selling
she
drugs, procuring drugs.
I mean,
she was buying her shit like at a
here's the
Neiman
thing.
Marcus in 1970.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year was she murdered?
Oh.
Is it in her notes?
You have the book.
I'm not gonna rifle through the book.
I'm gonna rifle through the book.
Okay.
You
I'm
threw your
gonna
notes on the bed.
Those are the one-sided notes.
I'm
I
gonna
have
eat this
200.
pretzel real quick and I'm gonna Google.
Okay, she's gonna Google. Thank God for the Googles. Darlene and Mike were killed in 1969, I believe.
We went to the moon.
68.
1969.
68. Mike Michaud, Darlene. Mike lives. He overkills Darlene. He comes to the side of the car. He shoots her in the head. He continues to shoot her. He overkills again. Sexual sadist. Cannot perform sexually in normal sexual encounters with females. So he overcompensates. He kills the female. He also goes after the guys. But 2 of his male victims live. So...
Interesting that he didn't make sure
that they were dead. But the
Like, he
women,
did
he
the
was
women.
like, yeah.
And the first 2, right?
And 3.
So Betty...
Number 3.
no.
Betty Lou, Darlene.
And then the last one, he
Cecile.
called 911 afterwards.
He did not call in Betty Lou and David's case. He did call in Darlene's case. And you find out he continually called Darlene's parents. Darlene's husband. And just heavy breathing.
There's no need to do it.
They know what heavy breathing is.
Sorry. I get a little wild. So yeah, he definitely knows Darlene. You find out about a painting party. Darlene has an older sister and a younger sister. Darlene has babysitters. They go out for fireworks. It happens around the 4th of July. Mike Michaud and Darlene are never found. We have no idea. But they pulled off by Lover's Lane, out by a lake, a river, a body of water. That seems to be our boy's trigger.
Is water.
Water, making out.
But for sure, we know that... Do we know that Betty Lou was for sure him?
We know that Betty Lou and David were him. He draws a symbol on the side of the car.
Okay, gotcha.
He draws a date
And
and
then
a symbol.
Darlene is for sure him.
For sure him.
And then Lake Barry, whatever, how you say it.
Berryessa.
Berryessa, that's for sure him.
For sure.
We know the cabbie is for sure him.
We know the cabbie's for sure him. We know Brian and Cecile. For sure him.
Okay.
Props to Brian. Smart guy.
The lawyer.
Yeah.
After. Brian was after
Darlene
and Mike. Right, so Mike lives. Mike's cleared. He's
He
suspected.
fucking runs.
He's suspected at first, right? Because
Right,
he lived.
yeah,
But
because he lived.
Because he lived, and as soon as he's cleared, he's out.
He was the anti of Stocky. He was wearing 3 sets of clothes to make himself look bigger. He was really
That's
skinny.
right.
Yeah. Everyone's like, why was he wearing 3 sets of clothes? Because the Zodiac was stocky and Mike Michaud was skinny. It's all about fat shaming, body image, body shaming.
You're a little heavy on the body shaming this time. You want me to start bitching about the cars?
Yeah, Sarah hates the book because it talks about the cars. I do not want to hear about how stocky a motherfucker was one more time.
I don't want to hear about the 7 different vehicles involved by a 1-second witness and what color the rims are and what color the
My
tires
grandma's
are.
aunt's dog told me that the third car had like silver spiky rims. Is that what's bothering you?
Yes.
I'm
is
over here with
like-
the fat shaming.
It is like...
I don't want to be known as a stocky redhead, okay? If I'm murdered today, please don't let them call me stocky.
Okay, angry redhead it is.
That's right. Much better.
I got some good names too. But...
Hey, that's my daughter. Don't listen to her. She's crazy.
Oh yeah. I wonder where I got that from.
It's not genetic or anything.
It's Sarah.
Yes, I definitely passed my craziness on to this child that I have no genetic connection to.
That's fine. Genetics aren't much. Okay, let's move on to Brian and Cecile.
Brian and Cecile.
Making out at the lake.
Hogtied.
Hogtied. He makes Cecile tie Brian.
Yep.
So let's put ourselves in that situation.
Ew,
So I have to pretend we're making out.
that's hot.
Like we haven't done it before.
We have not done that before. All the times you assault me by grabbing my ass does not
That's
count.
totally different. No. I mean, not in the making out position, but in the You're with your boo. You're making out. You're getting a little frisky. Y'all haven't been together in a while. They explain that in the book because Grace Smith goes into extreme detail.
On everything that doesn't matter, but alright.
Hashtag Sarah hates it. So, you are making out with your boo. Dude comes up in a black mask, black suit, wearing some kind of, like, fucking weird symbol.
With a knife in his hand.
With a knife.
Tells you to hog tie up.
Tie your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
How is the hog tying going for you?
Well, I'm going to be like, are you sure? Because it's not going to be very tight. I'm not going to do it the right way, but alright, I can try. I mean, I think that you never know how you're going to really act in those situations until you're in it, but, I mean, I would like to think, and this is probably just because this is the day and age that we live in. Back then, I can't attest to it whatsoever, but in this day and age, mental health is such a huge topic that people talk about all the time. I think that in this day and age, if you got some crazy person coming at you, you're probably going to be reacting just like she was. Okay.
You're just going to kind of be submissive.
It's okay. I mean, and even he did that. Brian did that. He was like,
no,
you can take my wallet. You can take my keys. Here's my wallet. Here's my watch. Here's everything. It's fine. Just go. Obviously, that didn't work in their case.
No.
But, I mean, what else were you going to do?
Well, you find out Cecile doesn't hog tie Brian very tightly.
Yeah. Well.
So, I mean, I'm married to a huge man. I'm probably not going to hog tie him as tight as I possibly can. Because my last resort, and this has always been a safeguard, been married 20 years, I can talk all the shit I want because once I piss the entire crowd off, my husband's ginormous. You sure you want some of this? So that's kind of where I would be in this situation. Brian's big. Brian's a big guy. Brian's 6'4". He's about Keith's size, but he's skinny. Super skinny. He's not Swedish.
Not stocky.
Yeah, he's not stocky. Fat shaming. Hashtag. So yeah, I'm going to tie him loose. I'm going to do exactly what she did. You know, and then Brian does all the talking. Brian's studying psychology. He's doing this, he's doing that. So he's trying to talk Zodiac down. Hey, take my money. Here's the keys to the car. What can I do? Zodiac comes up with some bullshit story about how I just escaped from this prison, blah, blah, blah. No, you fucking psycho. You didn't, but whatever. So back then, I think they handled it as best they could. Did she die? Yeah, absolutely. Did Brian get stabbed many times, but he still lived? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did they handle it to the best they could? Probably. Me as a person, I'm trying to sneak a weapon into Brian's hands. Anything I have to stay from my fucking bra. I'm trying to pull metal out. I'm trying to put it in my hogtied boyfriend's hands.
I'm concerned that you still wear underwear. That shit hurts.
I got biggies.
So it doesn't stay. It snaps. How do you still have bras that have underwire in it?
Now we're on a bra tangent. I don't know. I'm trying to sneak something in my husband boyfriend's hands. I'm probably also going to be the one to talk the shit.
That's what she said.
Go
ahead.
I'm probably going to be the one to talk him down.
Interesting, though. I mean, you can't...
I can't put myself in that situation because I wasn't there.
No, I know. I was just saying, I mean, you never really know how to... I mean, that's what I think is so fascinating about serial killers in general, is that, I mean, you have to keep them talking, right? I mean, you have to really... You can't figure out how you're going to get out of the situation with them unless you know what their MO is. You know? And what is his
Modus
MO?
operandi.
What?
Huh?
What did you say?
Nothing.
Did you say something about Brenda?
The modus operandi. His MO.
Yeah. Okay. I think you said something about Brenda. I was like, are we talking about 90210 now? Like,
I never saw that show.
showing your age.
What? Your age? I never saw that show. So, chapter 3, Zodiac sending letters. He calls. He sends his first letter. Hey, I did the kids at the park. I also did the kids over here. The most critical thing for me in these chapters are the teachers. I think the teacher and his wife are badasses. They kind of gloss over it in the movie. They kind of just gloss over it in the book. You find out later that Graysmith himself really cracks the code and he really gets into the cipher
That's probably why he glossed over in the book, because he was jealous it wasn't him.
My girl's going after Gray Smith. I love you, but I think he's a good author. I've read super boring books in the past. I guess because I'm sort of obsessed with this. This is one of my, like, hey, hot buttons. I love it. I didn't feel that way, but he might have been jealous. I don't know. Tenacity to the woman. Yay, girl power.
That cracked the code?
Yeah, she stayed up till, like, 24 fucking hours, you know? Mm-hmm. Husband comes downstairs, he's like, have you slept? She's like, no, but I figured this out. Sit down.
And what's interesting is they figured it out using the most common double consonants in the English language, which was L and L. So, and they knew he was going to use the word kill.
Kill. Oh, yeah.
So, they found that first.
Look at the brain on Sarah.
They were, hey, I'm telling you what, y'all making fun of me for how much I'm drinking, but it comes out more.
Uh-huh.
I'll probably start talking in a really deep southern accent the more we go, because, you know, alcohol.
You is southern. You is sweet, and you is kind.
Trying to hide what's on the inside.
You is important. Okay, John.
You is important. Okay. Sorry, wrong book.
That's not dark and twisty.
That is dark and twisty. She feeds him a shit pie. Hell yeah, bitch. My girl. Fuck them. Let's get into the chapter that bothers the shit out of me. The cab driver.
The cops. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it wasn't the cops. Please understand, I love the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I love the blue. We have friends that are part of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Both, you know, you do, I do, the blue.
Yes.
It's the racism I have a problem with.
Well, yes.
The Paul Lee Stein, the cab driver. So Zodiac goes on a tangent, right? I guess he's de-elevating. What's it called?
Or he's probably escalating, or he's
escalating.
I think it's probably, I mean, because, like, look at the first two murders. There wasn't this tie a person up. This wasn't they weren't a torture each other kind of scenario.
The psychological
in the
thing
first
wasn't
two.
there necessarily.
It was in the third one. So I think he's escalating because, you know, as with
tie your boyfriend up.
As with anything in life, though, you're going to get used to it. And you have to just go harder and you have to go stronger. And
like me and you with liquor! Yay!
That first shit goes really strong. So I think he's shifting. The couples isn't doing it for him anymore. He's got to pick this random person. Was it random?
On a city street,
lit up. Out in public.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nighttime. Yes, it's dark. Yes, it is in kind of a little bit of a secluded part of...
Don't forget the Washington...
near the
Lake Street.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But is that your boy on the... So we have the movie playing in the background. Is that the one that you like?
Yeah, this scene twists me up.
That's the...
Twisted.
What's that? Oh, you moved your other notebook away.
I'm sorry. All of my notes. Oh, shit. That was loud. I got notes.
No, I know. What's the
Don
boy?
Andrews.
That's Don Andrews.
And that's his friend. This is where Jake Gyllenhaal runs out of the house because there's somebody fucking upstairs. Now, when Gray Smith describes this in the book later on, he was like, I wasn't afraid. I knew that I was safe. People knew where I were. Bullshit. You were shitting your pants. Tell the truth. Don't try to play hard.
So, chapter 4 of the book goes over the murder of the cab driver, which is, like we were talking about earlier, in a more populated area. There's literally witnesses on the phone with 911 as it's happening.
12, 16, and 18-year-old kids. Their parents are having a party.
And the 911 dispatcher fucks up.
And what does she say?
She says that the suspect is an African-American male.
Fuck that.
So that's who the police officers start looking for. They actually pull
San Francisco,
over
1969, 1970. Black Panther, racism, all of the crazy environments. It's stupid. When did Martin Luther King march? 68, 69. Stop and think about the racist. It's similar to what we have in our society today. The kids didn't say he was black. the dispatcher said he was black, and what happens?
So the police officers pull over our boy Zodiac.
Our boy!
And don't really suspect him because he's not African American. So he walks away. Drives away. And then
He
hides.
walks. They drive.
Hides in the park where they're conducting an investigation.
And what is he going to
And
say?
writes about it later
Yeah, he
on.
goes on to taunt them.
And taunts the police in another letter afterwards saying,
Yeah.
I was there. You guys were, like, driving
Racing
your
cars,
motorcycles
yeah.
up and down the road, trying to make a lot of noise, which I'm sure was some police tactic if that actually happened. But, you know, he's taunting the police officers. You almost had me.
I mean, I would taunt the hell out of him too.
I would
Like,
too.
y'all
If I
talk
was
to me to my
smart
face.
enough to murder, if I was smart enough to get away with several murders at this point and literally have police officers in front of me.
Look at me.
And have the composure in myself to still be able to walk the fuck away, I'd be like, I'm so much smarter than all of you people.
I'm Kanye West!
Oh, God.
Sweet Jesus.
Too far.
Too far. Yeah, so he's like, he's smart. People are going to think I glorify the Zodiac. Out of all the serial killers that I've read about, I've studied, I've looked into, Zodiac was fucking smart. There's no two ways about it. He was
never caught, so of
He
course
was
he's
never
smart.
caught. He had a high IQ, fucking twisted. I mean, we only talk about twisted shit on here. Truth. But yeah, he really was high at that point. He was high on himself. He was high on the fact that they fucked up. They looked right at him. What's funny to me is the composite sketch changes at this point too.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? He walked up to cops.
Yeah.
Now you find out later on, and this is on my own research, it's not in the book, you find out that one of the officers who actually saw the Zodiac that night ends up committing suicide.
Ugh, that's awful.
His life spirals out of control and he ends up killing himself, which is horrible. The guilt that he had to feel. But whatever happened to that dispatcher? You know?
I don't know. What did happen to the dispatcher?
Fired.
Did she have it coming, Sedona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You stupid.
You stupid. Nobody said African American. Nobody said black male. It wasn't called African American back there. It was a black male. Nobody said black male. Nobody said that shit. That chapter pisses me off. What does he do though? He takes pieces of the cab driver's shirt to do what, Sarah?
And mail him.
Right. And what,
Which we talked about earlier was to authenticate
himself. Yeah. Double postage. He's into himself.
Yeah.
He wants you to know it's him.
He wants the publicity
Mm-hmm.
for it too. I mean, why else? Why would you taunt the police like that?
Send letters to the San Francisco Chronicle.
Why
he was
would
sending
you?
letters to all of the papers, and then they stopped.
I know. But why would you do it? Why would you send the letters? If killing is enough for you, and that's how you get your jollies, is murder, why would you taunt? Because you want the publicity. You want to hear people talking about you.
What about the chapter where he goes into the fucking buttons? I want to see the people wearing some nice Zodiac buttons. He literally says some nice Zodiac buttons.
And what's ironic is
Bitch,
that
what?
in a way he almost gets that because
He almost does get that.
He threatens Paul Avery, who is one of the main journalists that's writing articles, because he works for the San Francisco Chronicle,
Right.
and he threatens Paul Avery.
Right.
And what happens is that these journalists in the area start wearing buttons that say, "I am not Paul Avery."
Even Paul Avery wears one. Hilarious. That would be me.
Robert Downey Jr.
So many issues. So the next couple killings, the lady he kidnaps
With the baby.
with the baby,
What was her name?
Kathleen. Ooh, lots of noise. Sorry guys, that's us picking up the books.
It's a really long book.
It's not that. I've gone anyway.
Look, man, I'll read Harry Potter forever, but
I can't handle Harry Potter. I can't handle Game of Thrones. This one I listened to a
talk
couple
about
times.
books that need editing.
Oh shit! Don't bring up the last one you brought up.
What? Oh yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no. So he sends Paul Avery a Halloween card. The Zodiac sends him a Halloween card.
Mm-hmm. A piece together.
Pieced together Halloween card from several different cards. He covers the genital area.
Genital.
Genital.
She means pelvic area.
I know what she meant.
The Skelly's boner.
I was really hoping she wasn't going to make that joke.
Ba-dum-bum.
No, don't put on bump a joke like that.
Brown chicken, brown cows. No?
No.
I'm getting dead
I mean,
stares.
puns for days, but no.
Puns for days. He puts a big old pumpkin. Ooh,
God.
I love it when you pumpkin me.
God damn it. No more. That's enough.
Okay, I got them all day. That's what she said.
Oh my god.
Um,
As your editor, I only allow a few jokes, okay? A few puns. Let's just...
No more boner puns.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the skeleton's a bone.
We get it. My fucking god. Skeletons have
Dude,
bones.
this has been going on for like a minute now. Get to your point.
So he pieces together cards. He puts a covering over where the pelvic area of the skeleton is,
You
but
can
he
say pumpkin. It's okay.
puts a pumpkin covering.
Not pumpkin.
I don't know how to say it otherwise.
Pumpkin.
She doesn't know how to say it.
I can't. Pumpkin.
How do you order pumpkin spice lattes during the
I
fall?
say I need a pumpkin spice
Pumpkin
latte,
spice
like
latte.
all good white bitches do.
No.
Yeah.
That's not what white bitches say. White bitches pronounce pumpkin.
I need a pumpkin.
Oh, Jesus. It sounds like a nickname.
We've been best friends for 7 years. You
I
never heard me
knew
say pumpkin?
that you could not pronounce pumpkin the right way.
I don't know what you're talking about. So he pieces together 2 cards. They're standard cards. You can get them anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The card before that was my ass is a dragon. But in this card, he actually calls out Paul Avery. Your ass is never a dragon at some point. All the time.
Okay.
She really likes my ass.
It's amazing. So he pieces together this card. He kind of points out Paul Avery. He's like, San Francisco Police Department 0, Zodiac 14, question mark. So Paul Avery starts, oh Jesus, he's going to kill me. Paul Avery does some investigation. He goes sort of undercover. In the movie, it shows him going completely off the rails. Mm-hmm. Actually, Paul Avery goes on, leaves the Chronicle, becomes an award-winning journalist for a different paper.
You can win a Pulitzer?
A Pulitzer?
Pulitzer. There's a word I can't pronounce.
Pumpkin.
Did he win a pumpkin? I don't know.
He got all the pumpkin he wanted. And all the bitches ordered Avery pumpkin spice lattes.
Boner. I thought we were making... Never mind.
Okay. Anyway, moving right along. I just want to talk about this one thing.
God damn it, Sedona. We're trying to be serious over here.
Go on, keep going.
This is why Mel should be our editors and tech
He
guys.
was laughing at our jokes and everything earlier.
was.
This one over
Yes,
here...
Old man male doesn't know how to edit anything.
So, what?
Polygraph.
Is that where the bird Polly, goes and draws a graph? The bird Polly, goes...
This is why polygraph tests are still...
Talk about this one thing.
God damn it, Sedona. We're trying to be serious over here.
Tech
He
guys.
was laughing at our jokes.
He's passed out on the... So, I want to talk about this one thing.
Because when I yelled Keefe, the
This sounds weird.
Hypnosis.
hypnosis.
Why was hypnosis a real fucking way to investigate back in the 60s?
I don't know.
70s?
I don't know why polygraph tests are still...
Polygraphs?
Yeah, I don't know why
A
those are still...
polygraph?
What?
What?
Polygraphs. Is that not how you say it?
Is that where the bird Polly, goes and draws a graph? Nirvana. Anyway.
Am I, completely missing something? Did Kurt Cobain take...
Wanna cry? I'm a child of the grunge. What about the fucking psychic?
I cannot wait to see the
Yes.
next thing.
Because
I
one of
know.
his relatives about doing it just to see how many...
Your DNA is super... Not me. I pay my tax.
If
Tax
you're
evasion
listening-
is not genetic, y'all.
I
mean, it may be.
I'm not associated with the Frickies or the Bennett.
I mean, it may be.
Asian.
Not me. I pay my...
But not on my good side.
This other person's super close and identical. What if they're your DNA is anyone, but... What if they're your DNA is anyone, but... Just of a murder. I mean, not that I murdered. I don't want to be...
That
That's
shit's
crazy.
crazy.
Shit
23 and
crazy.
me. Yeah,
That
that
shit's
shit's
crazy.
crazy. 23 and me.
crazy.
Yeah.
That-
He went on to... Because
I
one of
know.
his relatives fucked the Golden State Killer. Because
I
one of
know.
his relatives fucked the Golden State Killer.
Zodiac.
But they
What? We're talking about this...
about the Golden State Killer.
What? We're talking about the Zodiac.
But they caught the Golden State Killer because one of his relatives fucking went on to 23andMe. Yeah, that shit's crazy. Yeah, that shit's crazy. 23andMe. Yeah, that shit's crazy. I think about doing it just to see how many of my fucking relatives are tracked out.
I don't want to be accused of a murder. I mean, not that I murdered anyone, but what if they're like, your DNA is super close and identical to this other person's? What if that happens?
Why are we whispering? I don't know. Okay. I actually want to do it because I'm convinced that probably one or two of my relatives are involved in major crime. But not on my good side. On that biological side.
Not murders. We got tax evasion in my family.
Tax evasion.
Not me. I pay my taxes.
Dear IRS.
Tax evasion is not genetic, y'all. I mean, it may be.
I'm not associated with the Frickies or the Bennetts in any way, shape, or form. I pay my taxes, sweet government.
I pay my taxes, too.
I wonder if he did pay taxes. That's a good fun question. In the state of California, they rape. God bless the state of California. They get you for all the taxes. Did I say rape?
Yes, just a little bit.
I was born there. I can talk shit. No, I say we leave it in there. California, I love you. You're a fucking horrible state. Next.
All right, well,
moving right along.
California.
There go all of our I don't feel that way, California. I think your beaches are beautiful. I love Laguna. I love the hills. I love
Don't they have Hollywood?
Napa.
Hollywood is life. Just kidding.
I wish y'all could see the faces me and my best friend are making at the 18-year-old blonde in this
is
film.
Hollywood in California.
California.
Yes, sweetheart.
Failed geography. I blame my mom. Anyway, the Zodiac.
Parenting. I just want to talk about the psychic from Chicago.
Okay. Go ahead.
He had been...
Remember, I didn't read this part of the book.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to read my notes.
Okay.
I have notes.
You don't have to do the sound effects every time.
I have notes. Chapter 8 talks about the psychic from Chicago. I have to say, this chapter is such bullshit. Of course, I'm totally down with the psychics. Do I believe that psychics can see and feel things outside of what normal people can feel and see?
There are super sensitive people out there.
There are super sensitive people.
I believe in ghosts.
That's a subject for a whole other podcast.
Is that not where we were going with that?
No, we're not going with that.
Ask me about the ghost in my house later on.
Your realtor disclosed that there might have been a death.
No. My realtor asked, and the other realtor lied.
Austin realtors are the worst.
I hope you're listening.
Yeah, bitch.
I'm still getting your text tag tolls.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. They say to the trust on him. I send him back and say deceased every single time. Did you just fart?
In all fairness, he did not die in the house. I double checked that.
She died in the house, though.
Can't help what happened before. I double checked. My
husband's terrified of the old lady ghost in our room.
I think she's cool. Anyway, so
no, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say, I still swear that one time you came over and went in our room that you were talking to her because I swear to God I hear voices.
I never said a word.
And she maintains that she said nothing.
I never said a word.
When she went into our room and sat in the dark at the edge of our bed.
I laid on your bed.
I swear to God I hear voices.
Okay.
So we're talking about Zodiac.
So we're in my bedroom. Okay, we're podcasting from my bedroom. I have a bookshelf. It's full of help.
No, we're talking
yourself
about Zodiac.
And Bibles. And hand to God, no one ever said a word in your bedroom.
Well, I heard the old lady talking back to you then.
God is my witness.
I will share my experiences in your house because I did live there all summer.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about your house.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's kind of bullshit. Twisted. We love that shit.
Bullshit.
That they're calling in a psychic who is seeing things about the Zodiac that are not accurate. Let's go on to the woman and her kid. The woman and her daughter. So, homeboy's driving down the road. She's driving down the road. She's trying to get to her mom's house.
He pulls her over and gives her bullshit lines about
how her tire's loose.
Tire's loose and weaving all over the
as you're watching...
Which, by the way, if your tire is loose, you can feel it while you're driving.
You can feel it. Thank you, sister.
I don't even like cars, and you can feel
Sarah's
it when you're
completely
driving.
oblivious to
We will
vehicles.
not talk about the one time your daughter had a giant air bubble in her tire and didn't feel it at all. It was the size of a basketball.
She's blonde. And she's
Hey.
very pretty.
Stop making fun of blondes. You're not going to be blonde listeners.
She's jealous.
I'm a redhead in a room full of blondes. Hashtag my life.
Literally.
Okay, no, so, yeah, you can feel it when it's loose. Homeboy pulls you over. He's like, hey.
He loosens the bolts.
He goes
To make a
lefty
long
loosey
story
instead
short,
of righty tighty.
he
Do you
loosens the
not
bolt.
notice lefty loosey instead of righty tighty? And then our fucking wheel falls off.
Uh-huh. And so
Yeah.
then he pulls over and is like, oh, good, I thought it was worse. Or it was much worse than I thought it was before. It's fine. Let me drive you to a gas station. And then let me drive past 15 gas stations.
And off to
You're
this dirt
fine.
road.
What I found really interesting, and they didn't really cover it so much in the obviously in the movie because there's only so much time for it. But in the book, he really covers about how Zodiac, if it was Zodiac, was taunting her the entire time.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm gonna
gonna
kill
kill
you.
you.
You're going to die.
You're going to die. That kid you're holding on your lap, I don't give a shit about. The baby you got inside of you, I don't care. I'm gonna kill you. He drives her around for like 4 hours. She's like slowly talking to him, trying to get out of it. And then he comes off to some kind of dirt road.
He comes to a stop.
Yeah,
right?
and she like fucking bails. She grabs the baby and she
No,
bails.
he accidentally drives onto the freeway and stops. And she jumps out of the car and hides in like an embankment.
Let's talk about the truck driver.
Poor truck driver.
Poor truck driver.
She's screaming.
She's screaming bloody murder at the truck driver. And he's like, dude, I'm literally just trying to help you. Okay. My husband works with truckers. I've worked with truckers. There's 250 undocumented serial killing truckers.
What do they say that at any given time there's at least how many serial killers in the United States?
It's bad. It's bad.
Keep talking. I'm
it's-
gonna Google.
It's, yeah, you Google. It's bad.
You googly.
She's screaming at the trucker. He's literally just trying to help her. You know, don't trust most truckers, but trust the good ones. And it's so hard to tell. So a woman pulls up and she's like, this guy pulled me off and blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't get published in any of, like, the big papers. It's like this little tiny blurb in this little tiny obscure paper in whatever county it was in. The crazy thing is the Zodiac writes a letter to all the major papers and he claims it. And the woman I gave the interesting ride to, her and her daughter, blah, blah, blah. So now we have the couples, the 3 couples that he shoots and when he stabs. We have the taxi cab driver and we have, for sure, we know he did these because he claims them in the letters and the ciphers. We have the lady he gave the ride to. There is a ton of co-ed killings that happen up and down the same area. We find out in the movie and in the book that he is somehow connected to Riverside. Riverside is God bless your soul. Riverside is an amazing little city, which is also a shithole.
You know, the only time I ever visited there was when my brother was in the Marines.
It's nasty. There's just really, it's just not great. So, yeah. Then we have all these other little killings, and the Zodiac's responsible for them. I want to get into suspects.
It's 25 to 50, by the way, according to John Douglas, who was the behavioral analysis unit director.
There's
founder.
25 to 50 serial killers at any given point.
Uncaptured serial killers in the United States at
In
any
the
given
United
time.
States right now.
At any given time. Which, by the way, John Douglas, if you have not watched Mindhunter, watch it.
No shit, Mindhunter.
We have that book too, but
The best.
I'm sure that one's even more dense than this. Than this one. Right here.
And that noise is us clicking on the book. Let's get into suspects. Are you ready?
Yeah. So your favorite, or let's go with neither of our favorites, is...
Oh, yeah, Andrew Todd Walker. He drives up to a CHIPS officer. California Highway Patrol.
Okay.
The bitches are beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
At least they were on the TV show.
Yeah.
Which I just dated myself.
Showing your age again.
Uh-huh.
He was a cop, right?
He was a former cop.
Former cop.
He was married.
His real name is... So in the book, he calls him Andrew Todd Walker because he gives all the suspects pseudonyms in the book. But really, he's talking about Lyndon Ladder.
Ladder.
Ladder?
Latcher?
Ladder?
Latcher?
We did this last time,
We
too.
did this last time.
Laddert? Laddered.
We can't read my
Lyndon
handwriting.
Laddered. So
he's angry with the cops. He doesn't like them. He puts that huge vibe off.
he did what?
Puts that huge vibe off?
Oh, I thought you said he did something about an eyeball.
I should quit drinking the liquors.
I'm done.
I'm slurring. I don't think he.
You just don't get that.
I don't
This is
get it.
him.
Yeah. I mean, he's angry.
I don't think he was smart enough.
I don't think he was smart enough. Is a good point, actually.
That IQ, and not that it's bad. That just IQ wasn't high enough. It was just,
Yeah.
You know, Zodiac was smart. He had a
Super.
really, really high IQ. He plays down, you know, with all the misspelling and all the bad
Which is- we find out
grammar
was
and
intentional.
all of his letters, which is completely intentional.
Yeah, the handwriting expert discovers that he is intentionally trying to mislead everyone. Morel is the handwriting expert. He's playing coy, you know?
Yeah.
He's smarter, he has better punctuation, he has better spelling.
Which is why we just don't think it was Lyndon Laddered.
Andrew Todd Walker.
Andrew Todd Walker.
Yeah.
Your favorite is Don Andrew.
It's just fucking creepy.
Why do you
The
like
dude's
him?
fucking creepy. Okay, so there's several people who call. This is where we find the Riverside connection. This is also where people are calling friends of Don Andrews, which is Richard Marshall. Look him up. The composite sketch and his actual visual is pretty fucking spot on.
He was
in the Marines?
military, right?
Right? He was in the Marines. He did coding.
And a couple of the witnesses said he was very clean cut.
Very clean cut.
Had crew cut, just like military members do. He was a coder in the
He
Marines.
was a coder. He expressed that he had something that was better than sex.
One of them slaves.
Them slaves. What about the first couple letters? I have something that's better than getting your rocks off. Yeah. Also, there's that movie connection. Several witnesses and friends describe him being into movies or big on movies. Don Andrews has the Gilbert and Sullivan connection. He loves to talk about Gilbert and Sullivan. He's really into the different things, and we know the Zodiac quotes a lot of Gilbert and Sutherland. Oh my sweet Jesus Christ. I've had too much to drink. Gilbert and Sutherland.
We can't
Sullivan.
We can't mess up our first podcast anymore because
It's already messed up.
It won't work.
Anyway, I like Andrews. They show a part of it in the movie where Gray Smith goes and sees a friend of Don Andrews, and there's a film canister, and he's in his basement, and you can see there's clearly someone upstairs. In the movie, it's really fucking creepy. It's portrayed as really creepy. In the book, Gray Smith kind of dismisses it. I knew I was safe. My friends knew where I was. Blah, blah, blah. It's fucking creepy. I like Aunt Marshall because I really feel he is a student of the theater where the Zodiac symbol is. He's a student of the theater. He copies. We find out later that the Zodiac was copying handwriting. He was doing like a trace type of thing, a bright light under people's own handwriting and books and different magazine print, and that's how he was doing his handwriting. He was actually tracing. One of Don Andrews' friends did posters for the different movies, played at a specific theater.
Which was a part in the book that was not in the movie. They did spend quite a bit of time talking about plays that had a lot of relevance in the letters.
Yeah,
that
the
Zodiac
most dangerous
sent.
game.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. No, I like him for it. Do I think he was actually the real Zodiac? I'm not sure. I'm kind of torn. Could he have been a copycat?
Maybe.
Yeah. Do I think there was more than one person doing some of the murders? Yeah.
Probably.
Do I think that everyone in fucking California back then was psychotic and just a string of fucking crazies?
Peace and love.
And murder.
Then there's my favorite.
Well, he's actually everyone's favorite.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
That's Bob Hallstar, a.k.a. Arthur Lee Allen. So Arthur Lee Allen is the first real suspect they have. Right?
But they blow
and they can't spend a lot of time on him because they can't get warrants because of all the different jurisdictional crap.
Yeah,
issues.
Homeboy was fucking smart. He was like, in this
happened.
county, that county. Yeah, he was.
Yep.
He was all over it.
Eventually, he becomes their subject again after they find out he's actually not living in a county that they're having an issue getting a warrant in. He's actually in Vallejo County.
Yeah.
Right? And they actually get a judge to go sign off on a warrant to go look at his trailer, and there's some fucked up shit in there.
Poopy
when
dildos.
They go in there, they're trying to find handwriting analysis more because the cops
they have
have
a
this
specific
theory.
warrant.
Well, they have this theory that Zodiac is ambidextrous.
Yeah.
And, you know, he normally writes with his, was it his left hand or his right hand? I can't remember which one was his dominant one.
He's dominantly left-handed, but everyone in school, his mother, everyone suppressed him and told him he was right-handed.
Yeah. But supposedly he can write really well. So they're going and they're trying to find, you know, handwriting samples.
Handwriting samples.
Yep. Weapons. They
guns.
find weapons in there.
They find squirrels.
They find squirrels. Homeboy had a lot of squirrels living in his trailer.
Well, we find out that Arthur Lee Allen had a pass from the state of California because he was a biology student.
And he also had a connection with a girl, Darlene.
He also had a connection with a girl in Riverside, the first murder. He was going to college the same time she was. And we find out later he has like 15 fucking different trailers. And he lives in a basement. He had plans for a bomb. He was a teacher. He gets convicted of child molestation.
Sedona's like totally enthralled. Like, I did not know any of this.
No, I knew that.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, he makes our best suspect. But do I think he did every murder by himself?
Well, I think it would be really interesting, like, as a theory to think, you know, maybe did it start out with this one person and then he developed this cult following that they all knew each other. Clearly there were copycats.
Clearly.
Obviously. But did they know each other?
That's a good point.
Did they feed off of each other?
That's a great point.
Was Arthur Lee Allen this, like, puppet master being like, hey, Richard Marshall? I had to look at the paper upside down.
It's fine.
You know, I think that's a really interesting theory, though.
I think you're right. We see a lot of different players in this book from Graysmith. We know Toski's favorite suspect was definitely Allen. We know a lot of other detectives, can't think of their name right now, Lynch and a couple other people had their own suspects. We know, Don Andrews was seriously suspected. We know a lot of the handwriting samples when they went to the handwriting specialist Morrell. He saw connections. He didn't see connections.
He didn't see definitive connections.
Right, definitive connections. Was Arthur Lee Allen completely fucked up? Dude, you've got the biggest jar of Vaseline and a shitty dildo behind your bed. You're living with squirrels crawling all over you. And all your family's like, I think it was him. Yeah, you're fucked up. Okay? You're fucked up. Period. Yep. You molested a kid. You lost your chance.
Yeah, he was a teacher.
Yeah, he was a teacher. What about the poor teacher he was stalking? He's calling her on her phone. He's doing all this weird shit. He was stalking before it was cool.
Hipster stalker.
Yeah, he was like the first. By the way, it's never been cool. Please
don't stalk people.
Hashtag I've had a rat on my doorstep.
There is a difference between deep Facebook investigations and stalking.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a difference. Don't take it real life, y'all. Don't follow people in your car. Don't drive past people's...
I have pepper spray and weapons. I will absolutely nail your ass to the wall.
I wasn't even talking about people stalking us.
I'm just talking about anybody.
No, we're in Texas. Don't come to our houses. You will get shot.
Hashtag Texas. So, the book is good. I really enjoyed the book. It's always been sort of a personal obsession. Sarah was super bored with the book. Super bored. She cannot wait to get on to our next book, which will be...
Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, about Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. He's super popular right now, which just kind of blows my mind.
It's because of the Netflix series that came out.
The Netflix series.
Which was really good, but that's just because I really love Zac Efron.
Well...
Yeah. So,
My husband and I's problem with that whole entire movie was the glorification.
no, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
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 No.
Gray Smith wrote several other books.
Did he? Did he
He
write
did.
comic strips too? Because
He was a comic strip.
He was a cartoonist.
He was a cartoonist. He actually wrote...
He actually wrote Calvin and Hobbes. That's not true. I just made it up. That would be
Sarah's
awesome,
personal
though.
email is...
That would be awesome, though.
No, but seriously, he wrote other books. He actually does one book that I'm going to watch the movie. We're going to review separately because Sarah hates him.
I don't hate him. I just think that his
I
writing
understand his
style is
obsession.
not my cupcake. I don't like it.
Not your cupcake?
Not my cupcake.
Not your cup of tea?
I don't drink tea, so why would I say my cup of tea?
We're in the South.
I do eat cupcakes, though.
You don't
True.
drink tea in
I
Texas?
hate tea. It's disgusting. It tastes like grass
Get
and
out of this
leaves.
state.
But she loves her wine.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who doesn't love some sour, fermented, foamy grapes?
Well, when you put it that way.
made it into
I
a
don't
delicious-
now. Just this one time. Great book. Guys, if you're into the Zodiac, I recommend you at least listen to the audiobook.
Or watch the movie, because
Or watch-
Robert Downey Jr.'s in it.
Because-
so is Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Mark
Robert
Ruffalo.
Downey Jr.,
And the dude that was in ER by Dr. Green.
I have no idea. I just watched the movie. I have a thing.
My
for-
husband's going to kill me for not knowing who the guy is, the name of the character in Ninja Turtles. Oh my god, the hockey guy. Oh, sweet Jesus. Anyway, the actor that was... Yep. The actor that was in Ninja Turtles and played the hockey guy is also in Zodiac the movie. He's one of the cops.
Yay, hockey. Here's our email. What we really want from you guys is feedback. We want to know what you thought. Your book reviews, if you've read this. Suggestions on books.
Because we're not just going to do true crime books. We're going to do anything dark and morbid and...
And even if it's not, I have a feeling we'll find a way to make it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just twisted,
God, we all are all dark and twisty.
which I love you for.
Deep down. Speaking of dark and twisted, so you can email us at, and I'm very sorry it's so long. All of the good emails were already taken when I did this. So you can email us at thedarkandtwistedpodcast, which is thedarkandtwistedpodcast @gmail.com. So thedarkandtwistedpodcast@gmail.com.
So many letters.
So many letters. Well, everything was fucking taken. Google.
No reason to get mad.
God
Thank
damn
you guys
it.
for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our podcast. Please listen to us again. The next book is Stranger Beside Me and Rule. No idea what the next book after that is. We're open to suggestions.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Stay dark and twisty, everyone.
For sure.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Hit the like button. Is it a like or like?
Did you hit stop?
You should
No.
hit stop.
You should hit
still
stop
going.
now. We're done.
Sedona, we're done.
Okay.